The Most High, your parents raise you, teach you. At some point, like a bird, you need to get out of the nest. Point blank. It's just like some people like to hold on to their loved ones who ready to go on to the next phase in life. You so selfish. People are so selfish. And they're true enough. That's your granny. That's your granddad. That's your mama. That's your daddy. That's your sister. That's your brother. Listen to me. When it's time to transition, some people are so selfish. They rather keep them here. They don't care if they suffering. They don't care what illness they got. They want to keep them here. And I understand the heartbreak. But some people don't understand. The blessing came, the blessing taught you, the blessing gave you favor, the blessing gave you guidance, the blessing gave you instructions, the blessing gave you insight, the blessing gave you wisdom, the blessing gave you what it needed to give you, and now it's time for that to go somewhere else and bless somebody else. But instead, you would rather just hold on to it and keep it, and that's where people get enabled. People, you enabling people. I done had you on my hip. It's just like with the king. When the king ascended and went to heaven, and they said, when they saw, they sit there and they just was looking in the sky. It's time to move on. Point blank, period. It's time to move on. It's so many people that came into your life. And they were so good to you. They taught you something different, showed you something different. You know what I'm saying? Gave you a different way to look at some things on life. And now that when the Most High moved, he got to go do that somewhere else. And if I'm just keeping you, and if I'm trying to keep you here, it ain't Deion that you trying to hold up. It's the will of the king. That's how I see it. That's just my point of view. And I speak from experience. I've been around people who don't understand that everything is seasonal. Everything is seasonal. Listen, I'm going to say it one more time. People don't understand that things and people, situations are seasonal. I'm not here forever for you. You're not here forever for me. If it's my wife, it's a different ballgame. If I'm her husband, that's a different ballgame. Friends, jobs, opportunities, careers, all this stuff can be seasonal. It came, I had to learn, it's time for me to move on. It's a lot of people on their jobs, they love their supervisor, cool as ever. The supervisor get a promotion, they don't want him to take it. They don't want her to take it. Man, you the coolest supervisor I ever had, man. They offering him more money. I appreciate you for the experience. Take care of your business. We watched a man do whatever he was supposed to do. Take whatever. Let me tell you something else about the blesser. A lot of times the blesser come in and take way more hits than he expected or she expected to take. Watch all of them videos when they were breaking into the locker room and taking this man, all the speeches he gave and talking about certain. He took a lot of hits while he was there too. He sucked it up, took it on the chin, and was still doing what he was supposed to do. He had a learning experience as well. A lot of people don't realize how when the blesser is there, how much he take on in order to get you to where you trying to get. The king, the Messiah, was here for 3 years. He knew where he had to go, but just imagine how he could have been like, you know what? These folks done tried to stone me too many times, done tried to cross me out too many times. The disciples, y'all just slow. I done had to tell y'all this a million times, show you this a million times. You still ain't got no faith. That's why he told them, ye got little faith. Go read how many times he told the disciples, ye has little faith. It probably was 10 or 11 times in the scripture. And they was around this man every day, all day. Just imagine watching a blessing like that and you still can't comprehend the blessing. And then when the blessing gotta go, you sitting here, I done taught you everything that I was supposed to teach you. I done gave you everything that I was supposed to give you. I done showed you everything that you need to know. Why you feel some type of way when it's time for me to go? You know how many times I done been in that situation? In relationships, let me tell you something. Relationship, the breakup in relationships they can really hurt you. It can really crush you. But get what? Maybe it got to that point because I done got what I needed to get. You got what you needed to get. I learned from an experience. I learned to have better patience. You learn to be loyal. You learn that it's certain things. And it's just time to go on so you can be better in your next phase. Now I'm going to tell you something about the king, though. Now, when you can't embrace and accept the detachment, and then he gotta abruptly rip it apart. When he ripped that thing apart, it's gonna take longer for you to receive it. You know why? Because you're gonna be hurt. It's a lot of black folks right now who hurt, bitter, and angry because this man did what his heart told him to do. How many times you done made a decision in your life that your heart and your spirit told you to do, that you knew a lot of people was going to disagree with? Give that man the same grace. Give that man the same, whatever it was that you was telling it yourself, that you knew, I have to make this decision for me. This ain't got nothing to do with my mama. This ain't got nothing to do with my daddy. This ain't got nothing to do with me choosing for my kids. This right now got something to do with me. And how many times you done made a decision that people were like, man, I can't believe you did that, and you done it because it was for you, but it was on your spirit. People don't be under people kill me when they don't extend the same grace that they want from other people, man. That's crazy. That's just like me. All the stuff that I done did in my life. Now listen to me. I'm gonna put this on YouTube. You ain't gotta worry about it. All the stuff that I done did in my life. Guess what? You done told a lie before, ain't you? But because I told the lie, you want to make me a bigger liar. No. You done stole something before, ain't you? Oh, because it was me who stole it. Oh, he's a bigger thief. Oh, you done took advantage of somebody before and manipulated them before, ain't you? Oh, but because I did it, you want to make it a bigger deal. Now, extend that same grace that you want when you go to the throne, when you go up there, because the words say, you know what I'm saying, you can come before the throne. We have a high priest who can sympathize with all our weakness because he was tempted at every point, yet he was still without sin. He said, therefore, come boldly to the throne of grace. And now when you go to the throne of grace, when you was alive, you want to minimize it. But when I was alive, God don't like ugly. You ain't never been ugly? You ain't never did nothing? You ain't never said nothing? You ain't had no business saying? You ain't never lied on nobody? You ain't quit playing with me. So when I look at the situation, like I said, I ain't went and watched all the stuff to see what was going on. I was like, man, okay, keep thinking that. When I looked at the situation, I was like, they mad at this man pretty much because he took an opportunity, he took an opportunity that was well deserved. It was well deserved. That's just like when I came to Dallas, guess what? When I moved, I didn't even tell nobody because it didn't have nothing to do with nobody but me. He don't owe no press conference. He don't owe no explanation. He don't owe it to nobody. If that man got a call, went to sleep, if that man got a call, prayed on it, woke up and said, I'm going. What's up, my girl? He don't have to explain that to nobody. You know why? Because it's called obedience. Pay attention to Peter. When he told Peter that he was finna have to go on the cross, what did Peter say? Oh, no, we can't let you do that. Peter didn't even understand at the time you was trying to get in the way of the will of the Most High. You trying to get in the way of the King. And see, that's really how you can tell. What's okay? That's really how you can tell a lot of times when you on the right path. Because when you will make a decision that's obedient to the King, not people. And people are trying to tell you that you're making the wrong decision. That way, they try to slow up your blessing and what it is that you need to go and do for other people and for yourself. So what he told Peter, he said, get thee behind me, Satan. And that's my matter of fact, that's my prayer for Deion Sanders right now. My prayer for Deion Sanders is that he say to every single person on this app, who or on social media, whoever, they got something to say, get thee behind me. Because if the man is being obedient to something that he heard, who are we to say, man, he wrong for that, man, he wrong. What if he being obedient? Huh? What if he being obedient? What is that man name that walked all across the United States? What's that man name that walked all the way across the United States? Just imagine if he woke up and he had a wife and children. He told his children, you know what? He told me to quit my job, quit doing all of this and that. Don't buy nothing. Walk David and walk all of this. Just imagine how many of his loved ones would have told him, man, you tripping, man. Don't do that. But his spirit told him he was being obedient. Who are you to tell this man not to walk clear across the country? Then you can't do that. You can't get in the way of the wheel. That's just like in my situation, I'm finna get ready to move to Dallas. I changed my life. Everything going right. When everything going right, people who didn't support you didn't want to start to support you. People who didn't have your back, then they'll start trying to have your back. But then you will wake up and you will see everybody is not meant to go. Go look at Gideon. Go look at Judges chapter 6. When you look at Gideon got so excited because he was listen to what I'm going to tell you. Gideon got so excited that he was chosen to bring his people out of captivity. He went and rallied up a whole bunch of people who wasn't even supposed to go. And then when the Most High told him he needed to get rid of who he needed to get rid of, and then he ended up with the 300, and the same 300 was with him when he went, and the same 300 was with him when he came out. And so most people, though, that's the first thing you want to do. But then you realize, you know what? Everybody can't go. Not only can they not go, everybody don't understand. Everybody don't get it. Somebody said a while ago, you can't let your left know what your right hand do. You just can't. So, but the thing is, when I'm being obedient to something I felt in my spirit, whether you like it or you disagree with it, how are you to feel some type of way? What did he say? Get thee behind me. Get thee behind me. You know, somebody told me, this lady told me, she said, you'll never write another book. She didn't understand that it was in the will for me to write. At the time, I only had my 3. She said, you'll never write another book. I wrote 2 more since. Get thee behind me. People thought I was going to get out and act a fool. But see, you didn't know I was going to continue to be obedient. You know how many people I had try to provoke me to come back in the streets and do this and do that? Man, you should do this and not. Get thee behind me. And then they turn around, and because they don't like your decision, they don't listen. People say people have the crab in the, but a lot of people don't realize that they crabs in the bucket. They don't even realize they had that mentality. Because the minute you trying to stop somebody out of something that's finna better their life, better their family life, and potentially better other people's life when they get where they going, why would you want to stop that? Why would you want to stop? We don't know what's in store for prime time. Who's to say he go there for 2 years, really get in a position financially, and then do something ain't none of us never saw? But the stepping stool for him to get to the bigger picture was for him to leave Jackson State and go over there. You just don't know the bigger picture. Joe D, listen to me, Joe D. I need you to leave, go to Dallas now. It's some thing. Now this the thing about obedience. You see your future in almost little whispers. Like you can't see the full picture of everything. You make the move and you do something, and then something happened that try to discourage you. Something happened that don't look like it was a part of the vision. It don't mean it wasn't. Because I'm going to tell you something about the accuser of the brethren. The accuser of the brethren, who we know as the enemy, what he'll do is you'll do something that's obedient. As soon as you do it, something will crash and go wrong. Your finances will probably fall off. People that you thought was cool with you probably will fall off. People that you thought was going to support you didn't support you. And now all of a sudden you acting like John the Baptist when he went to the prison. Now you questioning, did I really hear from the king? But then as you keep going, you start to watch all the pieces fall in place just like a puzzle. And as all of them pieces start, because you got to think, I used to put together 1,500 piece puzzles, 1,000 piece puzzles, 500 piece puzzles. You got to think, how long do it take you to find all of them pieces, put them together, see which ones fit, turn it this way, put it in there, boom, 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 before it comes into the whole picture of what you saw on the box. It's a process. Most people don't understand that process though. You thought you was gonna open the box, shake it up, drop it, and the picture was just gonna be there as soon as you pulled it out. That's not how it works for nothing. It's not how it works for nothing. That's another thing. That's the beauty of grace. The beauty of grace is I'm letting you do it. You're going to go there. You're going to fall a couple of times because a just man fall, boom, boom, boom. He get back, boom, boom, boom. You know the scripture. I didn't even want to quote it for you because if you didn't know it, you need to go look it up. But look, check this out. You fall a couple of times and you get back up. You fall a couple of times, you get back up. I've been home going on 6 years in May. You know how many times I done failed? Probably hundreds. You know how many times I done said I wasn't going to do it and done it again? Probably hundreds. You know how many times I said, you know what? I ain't gonna drop that pig no more and put me in another situation and done it. You know what I mean? When I got back in the streets and I started hustling, I said, you know what? I'm done. And guess what? I jumped back in the streets months later. Done it. But let me tell you something about the vision though. The vision, yeah, the conviction is the thing. The vision I never stopped seeing it. I just didn't understand it. But it didn't stop me from keep moving and keep going and keep going and keep going. And eventually, see, that's the beauty of sanctification. People don't understand sanctification. It is the power, it removes the power and the growth of sin. It means over time you get better at what it was. For an example, when I tell people I slept with almost 100 women by the time I was 18 years old. When I say that right there, they first respond is, whoa. What? You probably ain't no telling what you did. But then I'll turn around and say, well, I've been home almost 6 years. And this I'm giving a hypothetical. I'm just giving you an example. I've been home almost 6 years. I done slept with 10 women. People, dang, you done slept with 10 women in 6 years? Pump your brakes now. Pump your brakes. Because let me explain something to you. That let me know you ain't looking at it from your spiritual lens. You're not looking at it from the fruits of the Spirit. The fruits of the Spirit is self-control. You want me to tell you how I know you ain't looking at it from the fruits of the Spirit and from a judgmental place? Because if I told you my past and said I slept with almost 100 women by the time I was 18, that'll tell you I didn't have no self-control. So I did that in almost 2 years. That's almost 2 years, almost 100. So then when I turn around and say I've been home 6 years and I slept with 10 and you say, dang, you did that? No. Look at the process. Look at the difference. That is a demonstration of self-control. But see, when you don't know the king and you don't know who you are, that'll discourage you. It's just like a person who used to drink every single day. And then that person started drinking 3 times a week. Then they get down to 1 time a week. But then, see, the enemy will creep in and tell you, because you still having that drink once a week, you still an alcoholic. No. You are demonstrating self-control. You are demonstrating sanctification over time. That is growth. That's just like a person who used to gossip and talk every day, all day. And then this person started to realize, man, I ain't finna talk about that person. I ain't finna put my mouth on that person. I ain't finna do that. That is growth over time. But see, people, when he say we are healed by his stripes, let me tell you something about healing. Healing is a process. It is a continuation of something. Some healing don't just immediately happen and you never do it again. Some healing has to do with the process of over time of a manifestation. The self-control and the healing can coincide with one another, because I have self-control and that self-control is helping me heal from something. It is a process of over time. Now, it's different if you just waddling in something and you staying in it. If you waddling in it and you staying in it, you lacking conviction, and 9 times out of 10 you are grieving the Spirit. That's something completely different. But over time, if you getting better with something, that's growth. So it ain't no way you gonna put your mouth on me and try to tell me, oh, you ain't. But back to Deion though. People don't want to let go of the blesser. You receive the blessing from the blesser and don't want to let the blessing go. Because so many of us, listen, I'm gonna tell you something about brokenness and then I'm finna roll. So many of us, when you've been broken, when you seek validation, when you got low self-esteem and you got you lack confidence in yourself, or you ain't had nobody to come around and really show you like real love and that they care about you, and then the blesser come around and they show you that person come there to put something in you that you was void of. And when that person come in and pour into you, you're supposed to be okay with letting this person go. When this person come in and teach you what they taught you, showed you what they showed you, loved on you like they loved you, you need to come to a place and be appreciative that this was seasonal for this person, and it's time for this person to go somewhere else and do it for somebody else. And when they put it in you, the Most High sent that person to you because he was giving you an opportunity for you to probably go and do it for somebody else. If you can't receive that, guess what? You're going to continue on in that cycle, continue on in that cycle, continue on in that cycle. And sometimes that's a good way to expose people. In my opinion, if I come into your life and I'm a demonstration of everything that you was void of and what you need, and by the time the Most High have to abruptly detach us and you fall back in your same pattern and let me know you never received it because you wanted to use me up. You wanted to be a leech. And that's all you wanted, because if you really was open to receiving and you seen the blessing, the minute the blesser gotta go, you'll know. You'll know. You know how many people in my life I can look back at? You know how many conversations I done had and I can look back and say they didn't listen? You know how many times I done said, "What's up, mama?" You know how many times I done said, "Well, I told you that years ago." And I showed you that years ago. And then you will look up, and then let me tell you something about the blesser and the giver. Let me tell you something, because then you will look up, and you will see the blesser. You will see the blesser still being blessed and blessed other people. And because you wasn't open to receive it, what we'll see is what we're seeing with Deion. You will see a bunch of people who deep down inside you were still bitter. You was still angry. You was still mad, but you was okay because you was leeching. You was leeching. People who receive blessings and grace and love and correction and chastisement, they not bitter when that person time, because you always have access to the person. That's what you don't understand. How you mad because I gotta go and do this again when you still got access to me? You still got access to me, just not to the same extent. Let me go and do what I need to do. Or you can get thee behind me, say. You can get thee behind me. Because one thing I understood, one thing I'm grateful for when it comes to prison. Because let me break that down when I say that. One thing I'm grateful for the physical prison I went to, because there's a lot of people out here who was in spiritual prison, was the time I spent away to understand that nobody belongs to me. Listen to what I'm saying. My friends did not belong to me. My child, she's mine, but she don't belong to me. People that come, they don't belong to me. We bless each other, but listen to me. They belong to the king. So if the iron sharpens the iron, we'll both get what we need to get in order for us to continue to go on in life. So the time I had to sit in this cell, I had time to humble myself and realize they don't owe me. They don't belong to me. You know what I'm saying? These my homeboys, I love them to death, but they ain't got to send me no money. They ain't got to come see me. They don't have to. Now, do it hurt that they didn't? Yeah, but they don't belong to me. I didn't belong to them. Point blank, period. But it allowed me to understand how things are seasonal. Because while they was out here, their life was taking a different course just as well as mine. Because you could be I could feel like I'm being left behind because I'm in a physical prison, not understand that they grow can be stunted just as well because they was out here in the free world, in the physical, in a spiritual prison. So when I come home, I'm able to heed the voice of the King to come in people's life. Be what I need to be and be humble enough to receive what I need to receive. And if we are not meant to continue to go on this journey, because you can cross paths with a person and y'all can go on this journey. This person can start to move a little faster and that person can start to wander off. That does not necessarily mean in the spiritual realm that this person left you or just went completely ahead of you and took off. Your journey might take a little longer because it might be things that you still need to do in this area, point blank period. People don't be understanding that. So when I come home, parts of me want to hold on to to my old homies and my old life and this and that. But then I started realizing but check this out though. Where is it at? They still got access to me. They can still call me. They can still text me. They can still ask me for advice. They just not connected. They just not right here. But they quit calling. They quit texting because they didn't receive the blessing. I did. I got what I needed to get from you. I heard what I needed to hear from you. I'll still call and check on you. I'll still text you. I'm not angry. I'm not bitter. I understand that it was seasonal. I'm still here. I'm just not there physically. And then that's when you expose. I had a man teach me. He lived in Killeen. I don't know if he on here or not. I met this man like 2 years ago. That's probably been about a year and a half ago. And we was talking about the crabs in the bucket. I'm finna get ready to roll. He said, they don't hate you, Joe T. He said, they love you. He said, just the way they express love is different. He said, it's hard for them to let you go. He said, because they'd rather hold you down and you can kick it with them, laugh on the dishes and that. They'd rather keep you there than keep you and then to see you continue to move forward. It's expressing. We view it as hate because it's almost like they don't want to allow you to continue to live your life. When really it's love just expressed in a very toxic, dysfunctional way. I said, woo, that's heavy. Because I can understand that different, which it allows me to deal with people differently. I understand now when you come off the way you come off, it's because you don't know how to express love in the proper way. It's because you don't know how to tell me how it makes you feel that now that you don't no longer have me around. It's really love. It's just expressed in a dysfunctional, toxic, hatred type of way. I said I really understand that, and I really get that. It ain't that they don't want, they just don't want, yeah. And see, that's what we seeing going on with Deion, really. Deion came to do what he had to do. How's the black community mad? Do you know how many, and I'm finna roll when I say this for real. Do you know how many people in the black community right now, if an opportunity came knocking on their door in the situation that they in, they'll take it? Just like Deion. It's too many of us struggling to say we wouldn't take it. It's too many of us who've been waiting on it for a long time to say we wouldn't take it. It's too many of us right now that been dealing with toxic relationship after toxic relationship, abusive relationship after abusive relationship. And if a better one came along, then you wouldn't take it. It's too many of us who've been working on our job right now. Check the check, check the check, check the check. And if somebody walked in right now and said, man, I'm going to pay you triple than what these folks is paying you, but they love you on your job. It's like family on your job. You acclimated to your job. You know how to move around your job, do everything on your job. But it's some people that say, man, I'm going to offer you. You wouldn't take it? You going to take it. And then not only that, do you know how many people been praying? We don't know. You don't know Deion's prayer. You don't know what he been asking for. And when I say you don't know what he been asking for, I mean you don't know if he's been asking, I need another step stool that will eventually put me in another position to do more. And the stepping stool was, yeah. And it's a lot of us right now. It's a lot of people praying right now. Man, if I could just get a little side hustle, make a little extra money, eventually I can come out of both of them and do what it is that I want to do. I went through it. I'm going to do this job and I'm going to do this right here. And when I get done and when I get to the position I'm trying to get to, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. And that's what happened. You don't understand. You don't know what people asking for. You don't know what they trying to do. You don't know these people. You don't know what these people pray is. You don't know what the plans of the king is. So with that being said, I don't understand these people. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, that's my word for the day. That's my word for the day. You know, I'm going to leave right there. I don't feel nothing else to say. You know, I'm done with it. Oh, yeah, the link is in the bio, jtb3.org. If you ain't already followed me, hit the follow button and double tap that screen. What's up, my girl? What you got going on? Double tap the screen. If you ain't already followed me, hit that follow button. I need to get these orders done. Hey, mom, you thought I was playing when I told you I was behind now? My mama writing a book. I gotta let you know, hey. My mama writing a book. I read it this morning. The thing was a little intense now. Listen, I thought my book was intense. I texted my sister and told her, I said, boy, hey. I said, mama on to something. Mama on to something. Now I'm real competitive. I said, y'all make me write a novel. But look, but yeah, I gotta get these orders. I gotta get these orders done. I appreciate that. I gotta get this stuff done, man. Cause I'm behind, man. I unexpectedly. Yeah, for sure. I unexpectedly ran into got a bunch of orders. If anybody who ordered a book on here, I want to let you know personally. I really appreciate it. But I'm finna get up out of here. I'm finna roll. I'm finna take care of this business real quick. If you ain't on my YouTube, you want to see this whole video, I'll go to my website, jtb3.org. You want to see this whole video, go to my YouTube. I'm gonna put it on my YouTube. Man, y'all be blessed. Y'all hold it down. Y'all want to hear some stories? Go to my YouTube as well. Joe Baker. Y'all hold it down, man. Y'all be blessed, man. It's always love. One.